Hey everyone, Alex back again, finally with another vinyl collection update. So I'm just going to move this back a bit because it's like cutting off the top of my head. There we go. Alright, collection update. I have some albums here to show you, stuff I've been spinning at vinyl nights that I host and ones I've been attending, as well as some 12-inch singles. Now, I'm going to leave those till the end because I know not everyone who is subscribed to me is probably going to be interested in 12-inch singles, but if you are, you can stay tuned till the end, or if you're only interested in 12-inch singles, you can skip to the end or whatever. Do what you please. There's some really interesting 12-inch singles coming up in that stack, so we'll get to those later. But first up, let's get to the albums. Couple of brand new sealed albums and stuff, and we'll get to those. First up is the debut album of the band The Molotovs. This is their album Wasted in Youth. Throughout 2025, they're releasing like EPs and singles and stuff, and they've kind of made a name for themselves. Actually, this is one of my favorite albums of the year so far. I think it's very, very good. They've just come off of tour with Youngblood, who, although isn't my taste in music, he's really famous, I think, for being a friend of, Ozzy Osbourne before he passed away, which is great. If you're not familiar with the Molotovs, they're a brother-sister duo who formed a band in COVID. Remember those times? Yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? But there are quite a few variants of this one. Comes with a custom inner sleeve and stuff. You can kind of see it's kind of interesting. I got the blue vinyl edition. There is also a pink one to go along with being, the fact they're brother and sister. There's like a blue and pink split vinyl. There's a tricolor blue, white and pink one. There's a Zoetrope picture disc of this one. But of course I opted for the blue one because, well, it actually was the only one available to me at the time. But really, really good album. It comes under mod rock, I guess, on Discogs. And when I listen to it, I do get reminiscent of bands like The Jam or Squeeze. If you are familiar with those bands, definitely give Molotovs a listen. You might like them. Definitely one to give a listen to. Sadly, I cannot do a needle drop of this one. I would love to, just to give you a little taste, but unfortunately that one is a no-go, so you'll just have to listen to it and take my word for it. But yeah, Molotovs, Wasted on Youth, really, really good album. And as of when I'm filming this, they are 19 and 17 respectively, so the fact that they're that talented at that age and they're only going to get bigger from here, really good stuff. Next one I'm going to show you is the next album in the Creedence Clearwater Revival discography. This is Pendulum. Of course, they reissued all their albums last year, all at the same time, which is great for everyone's wallets when they're, of course, £30 a pop. And there's 7 albums to collect. Really good. This one's on an opaque brown vinyl. All of them are on different colours. I have praised these reissues before. I won't go too much into detail because I'm sure we all know these albums. This album was actually my introduction to Creedence Clearwater Revival, so of course I had to make sure I got it. With the song Have You Ever Seen the Rain being the first song I ever heard from them. Really love this album. Maybe my favourite one from them, although I like all of their albums. This one is maybe potentially my favourite. And as I've said before, if you're missing one of their albums or you just need a good sounding copy, a nice, good, affordable copy, these reissues are really, really good. And they're good for filling in any holes in your Creedence collection. Or, like me, you just never see Creedence out in the wild. So these reissues are really, really worth picking up. I do have their last one to get for to get to, which I'll get to in another video. This next album is actually a compilation, and this one came from my auntie's collection. She gave me her collection of records last year. I'm basically still going through the stuff that I've put to one side, stuff that I want to keep for myself. Most of it wasn't to my taste, but some of it was. This is the Big Wheels of Motown. Basically 20 tracks of Motown's greatest hits. You can maybe see the track listing there. You can pause that if you wish to see that. Not in the best shape, unfortunately, but it plays okay. I'd say VG, maybe VG plus in spots. It's okay. It's a good compilation. Of course, with 10 tracks aside, there's only so much you can say about the pressing quality of this one. But it's a decent comp. I like Motown quite a bit, so I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna keep it. I love Motown, so of course that one is a must keep for me. Next one is a pound bin, dollar bin pickup, whatever you want to say. Kenny Loggins. This is Keep the Fire. I had this in my old collection before my big purge, and now I'll finally have it back, which for £1 I cannot complain. And yes, this is the same Kenny Loggins that sang Danger Zone for the Top Gun soundtrack and also sung Footloose for the Footloose soundtrack. This has a big hit on here called This Is It, which also features Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers on that track. Actually a decent album from him. I know, very underrated and stuff and what have you. There's lyrics in there and liner notes and stuff like that. Yeah, this was a pound. This was in the pound section at my local store, and I actually don't know if this was my original copy before my purge. I know I had it originally, and it's in very similar. The cover, at least, is in very similar condition to how mine was before my purge. But yeah, no, really, I actually enjoy this album. Nice bit of like soft rock kind of album there, but yeah, definitely one worth checking out if you're not too familiar, but you like the songs that he did for the films. You know, like I said, he did Footloose and he did Danger Zone for the Top Gun soundtrack. So yeah, Kenny Loggins, Keep the Fire. Good album. Good album. A couple of charity shop pickups here, and then and we're almost pretty much done with the albums actually at this point. This is John Denver's Greatest Hits. This I wouldn't normally pick up, but for some reason recently I've been getting really into country and just obviously like jazz, being very picky with what I pick up. But you know, John Denver's Greatest Hits, you can't go wrong. And you got Leaving on a Jet Plane, you got Take Me Home Country Road, Prayers and Promises, Follow Me, Rocky Mountain High, which is maybe my favourite song on this album, on this compilation. But this is actually a Spanish pressing, which was very interesting. I didn't realise that when I picked it up, but no, really, really good little pressing there. There's the insert there, the original insert still with it, and there's a picture of John Denver on the back. This one I'd put as a good VG plus, which for I think it was like £1.25 or something when I found it, which I'm very happy with that, by the way. Yeah, I am not gonna say no to John Denver's Greatest Hits at that price. Very good with that one. Very good. So yeah, one again, wouldn't normally pick up, but it's a good little compilation, and for a genre I don't normally grab, not too bad. And in the polar opposite, a genre and artist I do tend to grab when I see them is Barry White. Is This What You Want, from 1976, obviously on the 20th Century label. Really, really good pickup here. The big hit on here is Don't Make Me Wait Too Long. which I think he had a hit on pretty much all of his albums. One of my favourite artists, of course, Barry White. I'll always pick up his albums when I see them. Yeah, there's the 20th Century label. As you can probably know, Barry White, very good soul artist. Really good stuff. I like this one. I never owned a copy of this one before either, so it's nice to get that, add that to the collection. And yeah, add that one to the Barry White collection. Cover's a bit ropey, but you know me, guys. I don't mind if the cover's got a little bit of wear and tear to it. And this next album is going to be a perfect example of that. This one was bought off of somebody. I've bought some stuff off him before. He approached me on Facebook. He said he was selling some more of his records and asked if I was interested in any of them. Sent me like a little flip through video. And there was quite a few I was interested in, and actually I still am going through a couple of the bits that he sold me, but some of them did have a little bit of water damage on the covers, which you're going to probably see on this copy of the Slider by T-Rex. Here at the bottom and at the top here there is some water damage, which isn't great, and the cover is split underneath, but the vinyl on this one is not in the worst shape. I'd put it at a good VG+. But yeah, again, another album I owned in my old collection, and one I'm super happy to get back, especially at what I paid for it. You know, you got Metal Guru on this album, the Slider itself, I believe. Yeah, the song Telegram Sam, who, obviously the channel Telegram Sam named herself after, which she's not posted in a while. I hope you're doing alright, Sam. How are you doing? If you don't even know if you're probably watching this, but if you're out there, how you doing? But yeah, this album, really happy to get this one back in the collection. And you know, it's not as nice as the copy I had before, but you know, it's a nice placeholder copy if I needed an upgrade. But I don't think I'll need to upgrade this one. It plays okay. Like I said, it's definitely a good VG+, and the spine's a little split, but things like that typically don't tend to bother me. But yeah, nice to have that T-Rex album back in the collection, the Slider. But yeah, that's it for the albums. So if you're not interested in 12-inch singles, I would click off the video now. But basically, I'm going to show you, I guess, the common 12-inch singles first, and then we get to sort of the rarer, obscure sort of stuff. So let's get into it. First one here, Jackie Wilson, Rick Petit. This is the 1985 reissue? Yeah. So there's a couple of different remixes on there, but, you know, had to have it. Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen. Do like this song quite a bit. My favourite Billy Ocean song, actually, as well, has the extended mix of Caribbean Queen, which I believe is like, yeah, 8 minutes and 20 seconds long. So, cannot go wrong with that one at all. Culture Club, Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? Classic song from them, of course. You guys already know that. Probably. I speak noodly, I promise. Probably know this one quite well. It's an 80s classic, of course. Another 80s classic here is The Human League. This is Don't You Want Me, with has the extended mix on there as well, and Seconds as well, which is good. But yeah, nice to have that one, and another 80s classic 12-inch single. Some soul with Juicy Fruit by M. Tume. And yeah, just really good stuff. Of course, the track that Biggie sampled for Juicy. If you know your hip hop, you know it, but that's just a classic 80s soul track anyway. As well as Somebody Else's Guy by Jocelyn Brown, This is a great one to get back in the collection with the picture sleeve. I know they reissued this for Record Store Day, but I had literally just picked this up about a week or two, about a month or two before Record Store Day, so I didn't need to pick it up again. Especially the price they wanted for it. Like the original 12-inch you'll probably find for less than a tenner, maybe. And I think the reissue was like £15 or something. Pretty crazy. But yeah, the rest of these, some of these are probably rarer than others, but we'll get through these anyway. First one's a bit of a novelty really, is the Boney M Mega Mix, which does have the 12-inch mix on there, the 7-inch mix, and then Mary's War Child, which is, of course, I'm not going to play that one because it isn't Christmas at the minute, but no, just a really, really good mega mix. If you're not familiar with this, it is on Spotify for you to have a listen to. But yeah, really, really good 12-inch there. For a charity shop find, cannot complain. Needs a little bit of a clean still, but good mega mix. For my hip hop heads, Dr. Dre, The Next Episode, with the track Bang Bang and Bad Guys Always Die on the B-side. Always looking out for hip-hop 12-inch singles and albums. Hip-hop is one of the things that's always really hard to find, and normally when I find it, it's usually pretty beat. So when I found this one, I pretty much went a bit cuckoo. Yeah, that one's in really, really good shape there. Rick D's, you got these lips. Or you got those lips. Promo copy on Stax, bit of disco there with the vocal version on one side and the instrumental on the B side. For those of you that wanna hazard a go at trying your own versions at home, Ronnie Laws with Young Child, bit of jazz funk here. And then it's got Tomorrow on the B-side, which is another really good track. Both tracks are off the same album. I forget what the album is called. Oh, Every Generation is right there on the label. Yeah, on the United Artists label. I wish I had the album with these tracks on it, but the 12-inch will do just fine. Here's a 12-inch single you don't see every day. This is Cherry Pie by Warrant. Now, no, I don't have the album. I don't see Warrant stuff really, but this has like Cherry Pie, Thin Disguise, Heaven, and DRFSR on it. So 4 tracks. The only one I was familiar with was the song Cherry Pie, but this was a pretty good one. Unfortunately for the sticker, it did not have the poster with it, but it is in very, very clean shape. This one, I am super stoked to have that in the collection for a 12-inch single of like a hard rock hair metal track from, I think, what, the 90s was this? Yeah, 1991. Yeah, something that you're not going to see every day, but really, really good pickup. And my first Warrant ever on vinyl. This last one I'm going to show you is, yeah, just one that I actually did go on Discogs and buy this because it was not expensive on there at all, and I knew I would never see this out in the wild because of how rare it is. But it's a cover. It's hard to explain, but if you're a hip hop fan, you may or may not recognize this. Lone Ranger, It's Yours, but the name that underneath It's Yours says Tila Rock. Now, It's Yours was the first track released on Def Jam by Tila Rock and Jazzy J, when Jazzy J and Rick Rubin first set up Def Jam. It's Yours was the first thing they released. So this is actually Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest under the pseudonym Lone Ranger. It's the only thing he ever released under this name that I can find. But it is his cover of It's Yours by Tila Rock and Jazzy J. Why he felt the need to release this not under the name Q-Tip, I have no idea. But when I discovered this, I just about lost my mind and immediately hit Discogs and found it. It does have the instrumental on the B-side, and I think he released this in about 1998, so of course everyone would have known at that point who Q-Tip was, because Tribe Called Quest were at the top of their game, and he was on the verge of releasing Amplified at that time. Maybe he was just experimenting around, or maybe he couldn't get the licensing to cover It's Yours under his own name. If anyone knows the story behind why he used the name Lone Ranger instead of Q-Tip, I'd be interested to know if you know more about this. But yeah, when I heard it, I just about lost my mind, and I had to go straight onto Discogs and buy this because it is that good. It is, yeah, I'd say near mint VG plus, something like that. But no, very, very good. The cover of that, and yeah, something I was not aware of until I accidentally discovered it one day through just scrolling through Facebook, and it came up on a video. Some guy was recommending 3 of his favorite Q-Tip tracks, and this one got mentioned, and I was like, I've never heard of it. And what do you do when you've never heard of something that you're interested in? You hit up Discogs and you see what it's worth, and because it was not super expensive, actually not expensive at all, in fact less than a tenner I think I paid for this with shipping. You're gonna get it, aren't you? So yeah, there's that, ladies and gentlemen. That is everything for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Apologies, it's a little bit of a longer one, but some of the stuff I think I had to go into more detail anyway. But yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Please subscribe if you're new here. That way you never miss an upload. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye guys.